हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं एमसीक्यूज ऑन प्लांट एनाटॉमी। ये 11th क्लास का टॉपिक है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है और जितने भी मेडिकल एंट्रांस एग्जाम्स होते हैं उनमें यहाँ से क्वेश्चंस आते हैं। हम लोग यहाँ पर वही क्वेश्चंस कर रहे हैं जो मेडिकल एंट्रांस एग्जाम्स में पूछे गए हैं। सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन आज हम लोग पढ़ते हैं कि अ कट ट्रंक शोज 26 कंसेंट्रिक रिंग्स। एक स्टेम है, एक ट्रंक है और उसके अंदर कितने रिंग्स दिखाई दे रही है? 26 रिंग्स दिखाई दे रही है। और 26 रिंग्स में क्या क्या है? स्प्रिंग वुड और ऑटम वुड की अल्टरनेट रोज दिखाई दे रही है। ओके, कंसेंट्रिक का मतलब समझते ना, दैट इज वन रिंग ऑफ स्प्रिंग वुड एंड वन रिंग ऑफ द ऑटम वुड, अल्टरनेट फैशन के अंदर प्रेजेंट है। जस्ट लाइक जैसे आप ओनियन को पील ऑफ करते हो तो एक रिंग निकलती है फिर दूसरी रिंग निकलती है, वैसे ही यहाँ पर स्प्रिंग वुड और ऑटम वुड की अल्टरनेट रोज है और वो कितनी? 26 कंसेंट्रिक रिंग्स है। तो ये पूछा गया है आपसे, व्हाट विल बी द एज ऑफ द ट्रंक? व्हाट विल बी द एज ऑफ द ट्रंक? As we know very well that by counting the annual rings we can know the age of the tree, but you must know that what is one annual ring? What is one annual ring? One annual ring is equal to one ring of spring wood, one ring of spring wood plus one ring of autumn wood. Autumn wood forms what? One annual ring. One annual ring is formed by one ring of spring wood and one ring of autumn wood is equal to what? One annual ring. And these two rings are present in alternate rows. Okay, means in a year there are two seasons. One is spring season, one is autumn season. The wood which is formed in the spring is called spring wood. The wood which is formed in the autumn is called as autumn wood. And therefore the one annual ring is equal to one ring of spring wood plus one ring of autumn wood. It means if a cut trunk is showing 26 concentric rings, it means the age of the tree will not be 26. The age will be half. Why? Because total rings are given 26 concentric rings of spring wood and autumn wood. But we know one annual ring is formed by the combination of one ring of spring wood and one ring of autumn wood. And hence the answer of this question will be 13. Means the age of the trunk or the age of the tree will be what? 13, means that is the half of the 26, half of the 26. Okay, so this is the solution of the question number 1, that is the 13. Now coming to the second question, velamen found in the epiphytic root is meant for. First of all, you must know that what are epiphytes. Epiphytes are plants found on other plants but are not parasite, but are not parasites, means they are found on other plants but they are not taking nutrition from them, are known as what? The epiphytes. Okay, and these epiphytes are having a special tissue known as velamen tissue in their aerial roots. Okay, the epiphytes in their aerial roots are having a special tissue and that tissue is known as what? Velamen tissue. And this velamen tissue is having the power to absorb the atmosphere from air. Okay, say for if this is a branch of a plant, if this is a branch of the plant and a epiphyte plant is present on this branch, so the roots of this plants known as the epiphyte plant are hanging in the air, and these hanging roots are called as epiphytic roots, or we can say it as aerial roots. Because they are hanging in air, they are called as aerial roots, and these aerial roots are having the velamen tissue. Okay, and this velamen tissue is having the power to absorb the moisture or the water from the air. Now we can solve the question that velamen tissue found in epiphytic root is meant for. It is meant for absorption of water from the host? No, it's wrong. Why? Because epiphytic plants are not parasites. They will not absorb water from the host. They will be actually taking or they will be absorbing water from the air. So the second option is absorption of water from the air, and third one is protection. So the chief role of the velamen tissue is that absorption of water from the air. Okay, so the solution of question number 2 is B. It is meant for absorption of water from air. Now coming to the question number 3. Now see here, in question number 3, the question is that when we peel the skin of the potato tuber, when we peel off the skin of a potato tuber, we remove, what we remove means when we are removing the peel, right, जब हम पोटैटो के आउटर मोस्ट पील को, उसके छिलके को जब हम लोग हटाते हैं तो हम क्या रिमूव कर रहे हैं, ये एग्जाम्स में पूछा गया है. तो यू मस्ट नो दैट व्हाट इज पोटैटो. Potato is a good example of underground stem. It's a good example of underground stem. Okay, and what happens that at the time of the secondary growth, what is formed in the case of the dicot stems? In the case of the dicot stems, at the time of secondary growth, a structure is formed, and that structure is called as periderm. That structure is called as what? Periderm. At the time of secondary growth, in dicot stem, what is formed? Periderm. And you must know that what is periderm. Periderm means what? Means phloem. Periderm consists of phloem, means cork, okay, plus phloem, that is called as cork cambium, plus it consists of secondary cortex, which is also called as phloem. So what is periderm? Phloem plus phloem plus phloem, or we can say that cork plus cork cambium plus phloem, or the secondary cortex, is equal to what? Periderm. And the periderm is formed at the time of the secondary growth. The periderm is formed at the time of what? The secondary growth in the case of the dicot stem. So when we peel the skin of the potato tuber, we remove periderm, epidermis, cuticle or sapwood. So you must know that whenever we are peeling the skin of the potato, we are removing its periderm. Right? Now the next question is question number 4. A plant tissue when stained showed that the presence of hemicellulose and pectin. There is a plant tissue, when it was stained, it was having the presence of the hemicellulose and the pectin. Now the question is, in cell wall of itself, the tissue represent, means this question is simple, that a tissue, we have to choose a tissue out of the following options. We have to choose a tissue which is made up of hemicellulose and the pectin. You must know that I will be talking about a tissue known as collenchyma. It is a simple tissue. And the collenchyma is consisting of two tissues. One is known as hemicellulose and the another is known as what? The pectin. So now the question is, a plant tissue when stained showed the presence of hemicellulose and pectin in cell wall of its cell, the tissue represent. So it is clearly indicating that we must know that hemicellulose and pectin are present in collenchyma tissue. Okay, in sclerenchyma, in the xylem and in the meristem, no such type of the hemicellulose and the pectin are present. So the presence of the hemicellulose and the pectin is the feature of the collenchyma tissue. Next question, that is the question number 5. That is, this question is based on the vascular bundles. A conjoint and open vascular bundle. A conjoint and open vascular bundle will be observed in the transfer section of. So you must know that a dicot stem is having the following type of the vascular bundle. I am writing here the vascular bundle. The type of the vascular bundle in dicot stems are conjoint, collateral. You must know that in maximum dicot stem, the type of vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral and dark, and open. In short, you can say CCEO, conjoint, collateral and dark and open. Now watch the question. A conjoint and open vascular bundle. A conjoint and open vascular bundle will be observed in the transfer section of monocot root, monocot stem, dicot root or a dicot stem. So the answer is very much clear. I have talked about the dicot stem. In dicot stem, the vascular bundles are of the following types: conjoint, collateral and dark and open. So in question conjoint and open is given, we must know that it is a feature of what? Dicot stem. So student, these were the important questions of the topic known as the plant anatomy. Keep watching. We'll be coming with more questions of all the topics of the biology. These questions are very important for medical entrance examination. Thanks a lot.